Okay, so last time we deployed actually this Postgres pod. So now we are going to move to another one, which is nginx one. Okay, and we created, let me just pin that, and let me delete all others, close others. Okay, so everything should be deleted except this. And this one also. Okay. Okay, so now the next step is to actually look at the and we created basically we created this called pod images. So let me actually deploy the pod images so far. Yes, pod images. So Postgres deployed. That's the first step. Okay, so that's that. Now we are moving to nginx. So I already have one nginx, so I'm just going to bring it up. nginx nginx locale. It's there. I'm just going to copy that and then put it on here it is here, and rename it to desktop rather than local desk. Okay, nginx desktop. Okay, to follow everything, we are just gonna let's compare these two together and then see if we follow the same standard. Okay, do we need any config? I'm not sure. We don't probably. Okay, that's fine. nginx. Okay, strategy recreate. Let's just add that too. So far so good. nginx container. Okay, I'm using my own container of nginx. So that means that I need to bring the Docker file and reconstruct it while the name is wrong. This should be nginx. Okay, the policy resource ports is 80. That's fine. Do we need any environment? Probably not. Volume mounts, yes. And the volume mounts is actually saying like an app static. Okay, should map to these. And these are the commands to run. I don't think we need that. Maybe we need. Okay. And for this one, we only need the volume counts. We don't need the stuff. Okay, cool. And workspace. Okay, so I'm just gonna also change this because I don't want to rely on this smile symbol site or a static file. So I'm just going to create a separate, basically, repository just for static files. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to GitHub and create a new, I call it static files. Okay, let's for now keep public and then we can do that later on. Okay. And I'm just going to copy that, go back here and create from this. Okay, so that would be a static file. So that means that static files That means that I actually want to always point to this one. Okay, that would be static. Okay, so that's that. That would be the static file. So always the static files goes to this repository. And also I want to like a place for the home directory. So we put everything like in, for example, here OS is the okay, it's general stuff that I change in OS files, like a okay, so let's actually create another one for that too. So go back with new, and this will call it, I call it like Ubuntu. Yeah, let's call it Ubuntu. Ubuntu configs. Okay, let's call it Ubuntu configs. Can even keep it public for now. There's no point. Okay, and let's copy that, put it there. So the strategy is to actually create a small repositories, each one specifically for one purpose. So we don't create a giant one. Okay, so that means that Ubuntu configs, that would be for we can use so for example here we need this subpath. Okay, at this time let's just comment this part because we are not using the SSL. We'll use that later on. Including this, but we are using Etsy and nginx and conf.d. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create those on the Ubuntu one. Create Etsy, then create nginx, and then we need to put the conf.d there. So I'm just going to basically look for conf.d. Yes, conf.d. Why you don't find it? Anyway, it should be here. It should be in OS. Let's see, nginx. Not this. I'll consider this a folder. Okay, it's actually a folder. So should we actually put the folder or maybe that file? Okay, let's not jump on it because this file should belong to a specific. It doesn't belong to that OS one. Okay, let's call it like, for example, Mm-hmm. Let me just also do this part. Only keep a static one. Okay, so okay, so we only have a static. We only have a static here. If I keep the OS here, so let's also call it the same name. Just to be sure we don't use this. Good, 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 good. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Okay, so that should be okay. That should be okay. And I should be able to just go to, basically, I need to, so this is the nginx is the Postgres that we deployed in last video. We showed that we deployed that. And we are back to here, and I'm just gonna add this, also the nginx. Okay, so now if I do that, okay, so we should have a nginx added to here. Should work fine. Yeah, nginx added. And if everything works fine, nginx desktop, which we had it there, should have also service, which is the mapping. This is, I'm sorry, this is the one, this one, service, which maps 80 to 80. And so we should be able to actually see nginx here if I just type localhost. Yep, okay, it's working fine. So we deployed nginx, and so far it's okay. So for example, it maps static to static files. To test that, we're going to go back to that repository that we created. We call it static files. Okay, I'm just going to add here. Actually, it has something. It has readme one, which call it the static files. Okay, so let me just test that. So if I type readme.md, does it work or not? If I say static readme.md, no, statics maybe, no, but app static files. Let me just add some other thing. So let's call the new file index.html. This is a test in static files. And okay, so now if I just go back here and type this doesn't work, but probably this one will work. No. Okay, I think we have to figure out later on why this is not working, because it is saying that this should point to. So for example, if I go to this app, I should see, if I go to this app, go to terminal, okay, and go to app static, I should see the index.html, as you can see here. The point is that if I go to etc config, etc nginx or something, yes, nginx, and then conf.d. So these are the original file. If I cat default.html, you see that there is no static anywhere. Okay, so that means that it doesn't point to any static. that reason it's not. But anyway, we will point to that and ensure that it works fine. Okay, this is good enough for now.